Today we're talking about relationship astrology, your ideal partner based on your birth chart, or I like to call finding your boyfriend, husband planet in your birth chart, which is like the more colloquial way of saying it. So, hello everyone, I'm YQ. I'm from Tarot Singapore Online. I'm a tarot and astrology teacher. I help people I cannot pronounce. I help people gain clarity in their life using tarot and astrology. And you can follow me on tarotsingapore.online. I post a lot more there versus Facebook and other channels. So, yay, let's get started. So your ideal partner based on your birth chart. How to find the boyfriend slash husband and also girlfriend slash wife planets in your birth chart. So to get you started, what we'll need is actually a birth chart. So where can you get this? You can get it from astro-charts.com. And what you'll actually need is the accurate birth time, your birthday, and your city of birth. So, oh, I should change this link over here, delete it. Yes, so astrocharts.com. And the reason, so for ladies, it's okay if you don't have a birth time, but for men, you'll need a birth time because the planet you'll be looking at is very dependent on your birth time. So you can go to astrocharts.com. So let me see. So this is my birth chart from astrocharts.com. If you first time going here, you can type in everything here. And then let me just double check whether I'm actually showing the right screen. Yes. So you can type in everything here, have your birth time, and then create chart. So what will happen is they'll give you this, and then you scroll down here, right over here, the planet section. So we only need this section because we are, something is wrong. Oh my gosh, this is not my birth chart. I was looking at it. Wait a minute, this is not me. So basically the timing is wrong. So this is not my birth chart. I need to change stuff, but basically this is not me. But the details here are still kind of correct, except this buddy over here, it's wrong. But yeah, so once you have that, come back. So you want to pause the video, go get that, then come back right over here because we are going to get started with the rest. So for ladies, because most of my audience are ladies, I'm going to start with the ladies. For ladies, what you'll need to look at in your birth chart is the sun and also the Mars. So the sun, if you look right over here, you will see the sun is this one and the Mars planet is this one. And you'll recognize that, hey, you know what? The sun in your birth chart is actually your regular horoscope, like the regular one that you actually read. And for some people, if you were born between like the cusp, so for example, you're born between Taurus and Gemini, and sometimes you might say, I don't know which one is mine because the dates are kind of like different, then you will definitely need a birth time as well, because then we will be able to tell you whether you are firmly in a Gemini or firmly a Taurus. So definitely have your birth time. That'll be very useful. And then so for ladies, you want to look at the sun, and then for the sun for the husband, while the Mars for the boyfriend planet. So why do we look at the sun for the husband planet and the Mars for the boyfriend planet? So Mars in our birth chart is really like our masculine energy. It's like how we take action, how we are aggressive, how we are basically just like doing things. And the reason our Mars is the boyfriend planet is because it's something that we find exciting, that's something we find desirable. Because for men and women, Mars represents desire. And for women especially, Mars would mean what you find hot. So it's like, wow, you know, that guy is pretty hot. So Mars is your boyfriend planet, while the sun is your husband planet. So the sun is more like how you find stability in, because your sun sign is what you find very comfortable in. So eventually who you want to settle down with is someone with the sun sign, because someone who will give you like the stability that you want, and someone who will actually be able to like fulfill your need for comfort, the more like identity kind of comfort. And the funny thing also is that the sun actually means your father as well, which I find kind of like icky, but I guess there's also like, for people with daddy issues, basically you need to like find the sun to like fulfill that. And of course, something I want to talk about before we actually continue with the guys part is that warning is that when we're looking at the sun and the Mars, so basically your boyfriend planet and then your like husband planet, it does not mean you go around looking for someone with the same sign as your partner planet, but someone who embodies the characteristics of the partner planet. So a lot of people, they tell me, oh, you know what, I'm interested in this guy, he's a Leo, let me know whether that works or not. That is not what you want to look for in when you're looking for like the partner and the boyfriend planet, because it doesn't mean that, you know what, the guy is a Leo whether you fit or not, because the guy, even if it's a Leo, he might have a lot of planets that are not Leo that might be more suitable for you. So definitely what you're looking for, instead of just like a person that fixedly the planets that you have, it's more like someone who embodies the characteristics. But this also means that you kind of have to know what the characteristics are. For example, if we're talking about someone like a husband who is very Taurusy, means someone who's like a bit lazy, who's a bit like they don't like to change, and then they like material comfort and stuff like that. While a boyfriend who's a Capricorn is more like someone who's very go getter. So it's like, oh, I have goals, I chase after it, and then they are very status conscious even. Or actually it's more like, for me, I find someone who's like very needs to have a bit of status, I find that attractive. But so even though there's a part of me, when I learned this, I'm kind of like, you know what, I don't really go for people with Capricorn energy. I was firmly believing that, but later when I kind of like sit down and think about it, yeah, you know, the people I kind of like, they do have that energy, even though at first glance they don't. It's not like I go around looking for people with high status. Definitely not. In fact, I kind of like like when it comes to status, because I'm just like weirdo. I'm just like, huh, if you chase after status, you're someone who's very lame. But actually, when I think about it, even though the people I find attractive, they don't really actively go chase after status. But then, if I think about it, they still do. But then it's not something that's very obvious at first glance. So, ladies, remember, the sun is your husband planet, while the Mars is your boyfriend planet. And next, for the men. For the men, your girlfriend planet is Venus, while your wife planet is the moon. And the reason we choose moon and Venus, it's not we choose, but because the Venus sign is basically the feminine planet. And it's kind of like, for you to find hot, what you find attractive is like the feminine planet. So Venus, it's for men as well. It's like you project it. So both ladies and men, it's like the planets that we've chosen. It's like the ones you project. So it's the one you're like, oh, you know what? I find it attractive in that person. So Venus is the girlfriend planet, while the moon is the wife planet. And then you might think, Alama, does it mean that, you know, I can only go for Venus sign when I'm dating, and then eventually the person I settle down with is just the moon? No, actually, the person you want to eventually settle down with embodies both the wife planet and the girlfriend planet. Same goes for the ladies. It's kind of like you need the person to have both. So it could be that, for example, we will be using a few examples, which will be super interesting later. Basically, you want to find a person. Eventually, the one you settle down with is the moon/sun person, but they also need to have a bit of flavor when it comes to the Venus sign. Because if you go settle down with someone who just provides you with like the husband needs or the wife needs, but then they don't satisfy like your I would say sexual urge, but more like making you feel desirable, or someone you feel desired. Because basically, the moon planet is also like the mommy planet, lah. So eventually, do you want to get settled down with someone who is just a mommy person, or do you also want to be like kind of like a desired when you are, or someone who you desire when you are eventually with them? So yes, warning again, it doesn't mean that you go around, oh, you know what, so for example, me, I go around looking for Capricorns. In fact, I don't. In fact, I have a story when it comes to this one. So my Mars is in Capricorn, right? And then there's a person who actually revealed that they are a Capricorn rising. And the first thought I had, I asked them, you don't seem like a Capricorn rising at all, because I didn't find that the person was actually looking after like chasing after status, chasing after like being like someone who is like admired in society. Even though the person like kept saying that, you know what, I do, you know, I always like chase after jobs that are very secure. But the thing is that even though on paper the person is a Capricorn rising, from my point of view, I don't see them as Capricorn at all. So which also means that I don't find them like desirable at all. So that is also why we come back to this warning thing, is that the person that you eventually settle down with is definitely someone who you see has the characteristics of the signs. So it kind of also means that you have to be familiar with the signs, but it's also quite easy because you only need to like figure out two signs. And for men, the reason why I say you need a birth time is because the moon changes signs every 2 days, and depending on where the moon is, when you were born, it could be in totally different signs. So take note of that. And now we're going to dive into some examples. So first person we're going to dive into is George Clooney. Yes, very handsome, and the person we thought that he will be like a bachelor forever and ever. And the reason why we thought he would be, it's because his Venus is in Aries. So it means that the ladies he finds attractive, the ladies he goes for is that, oh, sexy lady, very Aries kind of nature. So Venus in Aries nature is like people who are super hot and then they jump into relationships very easily. And the reason we say Aries is hot is because it's a fire sign, and it's because they are just like they see something they want, they go for it. But the person that he'll eventually settle down with is the moon in Capricorn. And you know, Amal Clooney, she is a lawyer. Lawyer is definitely high status. So the person he settled down with is still like a very high status, but of course she still has this like very sexual like sexual energy because Venus in Aries. I have not actually seen any videos of Amal, but I heard that in court she's quite aggressive. She's quite like table banging. So it also means that she has this fiery energy with her as well. So George Clooney, you found the right person. Awesome. And the next person we're going to look at is actually Prince Harry, also like a eternal bachelor, but eventually he got settled down with someone. So for so here we see that birth time information is missing, so the moon can range up to 6 degrees before and after. The good thing is that the moon here is 19 degrees, which means that even -6 plus 6 is still firmly in Taurus. So that is the person he'll settle along with. So the first thing we're going to look at is Venus in Libra. So Venus in Libra person, so the people Prince Harry used to go for, they are very beautiful because Libra is a sign of beauty, sign of harmony. The ladies he went for is very put together because Libra definitely they want people to see that, wow, you know what, she's beautiful, she's very people oriented, she's very harmonious. So definitely he's been going out with all those people, but eventually whoever he settled on with, he would have found her very kind of like so Taurus. I'm a Taurus, but I can't really describe Taurus. Someone who's very grounded, someone who's very fixed in her ways. So if you think about Meghan Markle, she's like, you know what, I cannot stand the royal society. We gotta move to Canada. So she's like, I'm very fixed in what I want. And then also they like material comfort as well. And then so because Taurus is also ruled by Venus, there's a sense that there's a sense of beauty as well. I'm a Taurus, but then it's like beauty is not really part of my stuff. But so eventually, this is who will settle down with. So hopefully for Harry is that when he and Meghan are together, I don't know if it's Meghan or Meghan. I say Meghan because I follow these like Australian astrologers, and then they say Meghan. So Meghan is both beautiful and also like very comfort oriented, very fixed oriented. And since we're talking about Prince Harry, we're going to look at Meghan Markle as well. So Meghan, she is in her case, her Mars is in Cancer while her Sun is in Leo. So this means that for Meghan, right, whoever that she dates is someone who's very family oriented, who's very caring, who's very emotional as well. But the person she'll settle down with eventually is someone who's very regal and royal, because Leo as a sign is definitely the sign of royalty and the sign of like being like, this is me, and then it's like kind of showy as well. So Meghan, the person that she settles down with eventually is like literally royalty. And also but then also very family oriented as well. You know that Harry, because of his family background, he is also very like, you know what, I want to protect my family very, very much. And then that's why also maybe that's why they decided to be like, bye bye royal family, we are gonna be on our own. So this is it. And then let me also check Princess Diana, because they'll be very interesting to check. Princess, I think I kind of know astro chart. I kind of know what her signs are, but I just need to double check. So for Princess Diana, we know that her marriage wasn't really that satisfying for her, because eventually she did like divorce her husband. So for haha, but I guess for Princess Diana's case is that she didn't really have a choice when it came to whoever she chose, because basically if your family say you gotta marry the crown prince, of course you're gonna marry the crown prince, no? So for Princess Diana, her Mars is in Virgo. So okay, interestingly, because she was dating right after she got like divorced, right? So the men she find attractive are very systematic, very structured people. But then like whoever she's gonna get married to will be very family oriented, very caring, very emotional. So unfortunately for Princess Diana is that she didn't really get to have the chance to settle down with whoever she really wants to be with, because of that her life ended really short. But what we could see when she was looking for people to hang out with is probably the people who are very structured, people who are very systematic and very perfectionist. But so these are just like the very basic examples. So if you're interested, you can always go back and see your girlfriend wife planet, moon planet. But eventually there are still a lot of considerations when it comes to your partners, the people you eventually settle down with. So this would involve your seventh house, so exploring what planets are in the seventh house, what your seventh house is, and your seventh house ruler, and also relationship between your partner planets and the other planets, and of course your psychological astrology profile in the end, because the psychological astrology profile is very important because it dives deep into what you actually need deep down. So whatever I shared is useful, yes, but there's still a lot of things to think about. And then at this moment, I'm not actually opening up any like astrological consultation, but I think in the future I might. So just of course follow me on my Instagram page, where I really share what's going on with me. And then you know what, if I have any offerings, it'll be here. And of course, if you're part of my email list, I will always be sharing whatever offerings I have there as well. Let me know what your husband slash boyfriend planets are, what your girlfriend slash wife planets are, and whether when you've been looking around, whether the people that you are actually going for do match that profile. So thank you so much for being here. I will say bye bye.